All that B-roll you just saw, shot with the JOBY Smart Stabiliser. Let's get this thing open and see what it's really about. Alright, now before we go any further, can I just give a big shout out to JOBY and the guys at Bleep PR for sending me this down to have a little look at. Now, let's get on with the unboxing. Now, first of all, I'm pleased to see that JOBY included a little carry case to put everything in her. You also get a little quick start guide, which looks cool here. You get a user manual. You get a Chinese version of the user manual as well. I'm not too sure what going on here, but bad man don't read either of these, so boom. Now, you get some adapters. You got like a lightning cable adapter and you've got a USB-C adapter. And these are just to connect your phone to the gimbal for an extra power supply whilst you're recording. Now, had JOBY just had gone with USB-C ports in the first place, this would be a lot easier. You wouldn't need so many adapters, but it is what it is. You've then got a little standard procedure micro USB cable, which is not the longest cable I've seen, but it should be sufficient enough to charge the gimbal. You also got this little tripod thing, which is bare tiny and cute. It's got a quarter screw thread, so you can use it not only for the gimbal base, but also for a camera. And last but not least, you've got the gimbal itself. Now, immediately as I pick it up, it's got a bit of heft to it, and I can feel that it's definitely got some good quality materials, although it does feel majority plastic around the outside. Now, as I said, the ports are all micro USB. I don't know why they're not USB-C. It is what it is. On the front, in terms of buttons, you've got an analog slider, which I'm assuming is to manually control the tilt, pan or roll axis. You've also got an on button which doubles as a mode switching button, and below that you've got a little red button here which is the record button, and it looks like it can also switch to photo mode. And on the right hand side you've got a slider for zoom and field of view. Now, if this is like other gimbals, then I won't be able to use the field of view slider or the record button unless the smartphone is connected to the JOBY app, but that's something we'll have to look in a little bit later on in the video. Now, enough talking about what this thing possibly does. Let's get it outside and see what it really does do. Alright guys, so we outside and it's actually a beautiful day today. Okay, I lied. I couldn't bother to walk down the stairs, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like if I just pick up my phone, press record and shoot a vlog style video whilst I'm walking around. Now, it probably looks a little bit shaky. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 and most other Samsung phones do have digital image stabilization as well, which is quite decent. However, it crops into your footage, so you end up with a shot like this, and yeah, it also puts the quality down a little bit as well, so that's no good for me. But anyway, let me get the gimbal on this thing and show you what that kind of footage looks like. Right guys, now the phone is on a gimbal and immediately I don't even have to talk about the difference. Look at that. Look at that, fam. It's got the impression that somebody is actually in front of me with the camera. The thing, fam, look at that. Even when you're panning left or right, nah, it's doing a lot, I need to actually watch where I'm going, fam. But yeah, as you can see, hella smoother with the gimbal, fam. Nah, I don't think you guys have deeped the steadiness of this thing yet, fam. Like, fam, look at that. Look at the movement that man is, fam. Are you joking? This, why, how? Nah. Nah, how? Nah, tell me how, guys. It's like it knows what I'm about to do. How can it react so quickly? I know this ain't the first time that man has used the gimbal, yeah, but... Oh! maybe that was a bit too much. But yeah guys, you know what? In terms of hardware, I am not mad at this whole package that Joby has got going on here, fam. The transitions are smooth, it's easy to use, and it's quite responsive too. The only thing that man is mad about is the application that comes bundled with this gimbal. Now, they tell you to download this app called Smart Stabiliser, like it's literally called Smart Stabiliser. And unlike the Joby BMO lights, which have an app which is created by Joby, this one is created by a company called Tech. Now, I don't know about Tech, ain't got a problem with them. However, the application is not up to the standards that I'm getting from the hardware in this gimbal. For example, when you go into the video mode on this application, sure, it's got the face tracking, which is cool. You can draw a little square around somebody's face and then have the gimbal track you and your face wherever you walk around. But beyond that, there's nothing much to the app. It has a photo and video mode, and when you go into video, it's just the lack of options that are available, which really confused me into how they thought they would get away with this. For example, you can't change the frame rate of the video app using the Joby app. You just can't do it. It has to be 30 frames per second at 1080p. You can't even choose the resolution. You can't choose 720p or 4K if you wanted to. Stuck at 1080p, 30 frames per second, even though my phone can shoot up to 4K, 60 frames per second on the stock Samsung camera app. And then there's just all the other camera settings that it's missing. ISO, shutter speed, brightness, all them things there, they're just not apparent in here. So for filmmaking, the camera app in this Smart Stabiliser Joby app, it's not really there. It's not gonna give you the control you need. Now, for somebody that just wants to pick up the gimbal and use the buttons on the gimbal to control their smartphone to do basic stuff like stopping the recording or starting the recording or zooming in and zooming out without having to touch their smartphone, it does that. Yeah, if you want basic face tracking features, it does that. But beyond that, it doesn't do anything else, unfortunately. But yeah guys, software aside, this is definitely a decent piece of kit. If you're looking to do content creation on more of a serious kind of scale kind of thing, I would probably suggest you just use the hardware of this gimbal on its own and you just completely forget about the application. I'm not sure if it's better on iPhone perhaps, but as far as my experience has gone on Android on this Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, the app is nowhere near as strong as this piece of hardware is, the gimbal itself. But anyway, big shout out to Joby and the guys at Bleep PR for sending this down, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bless.